Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two 40% alcohol blended Scotch whiskies. First one is from 18D, and it's called White Horse. Introduced in 1890. It's aged 3 years. It's from Diageo, and they say the heart of the flavor comes from Lagavulin single malt Scotch. So the single malt is coming in from their Lagavulin distillery. Well, let's say maybe the most flavorful single malt they use. They don't claim it's only Lagavulin. If I can get this thing to focus, I'll be some happy. There we go. That's what White Horse looks like. It was $38.99 for this handle at Star. Now here's Dewar's. I think I paid $33 for $34 for this one. $33.99. Dewar's white label. This is their standard Dewar's. No age statement. And it's produced under a royal warrant as an official Scotch whiskey of the royal household. There's a focused view of it. It says on the bottle, it says it's got the 3Ds locked together. John Jr. and Tommy Dewar, the father and the two sons. True Scotch, double age for extra smoothness. Double age. They age it in one type of barrel, then after a while they take it and move it to a different barrel. So they mean double age. Different type of wood. It says by appointment to, and now it's going to say the new bottles are going to say to His Majesty Charles III. This one says Elizabeth II. Scotch Whiskey Distillers, John Dewar and Sons Limited, Perth, Scotland. It's under a royal warrant, an official Scotch of the royal family of Scotland, Northern Ireland, the Bahamas, Bermuda, Gibraltar, Canada, Australia, the Pitcairn Islands, etc. Okay, anyway, they claim 500 medals on here, gold medals and prizes, 500. Oh, really? Now, also, I've read a number of articles say Dewar's is the number one selling Scotch whiskey in the United States, not the world. That's Johnny Walker Red Label, but in the United States. And it's pretty popular around here. I mean, most stores sell it. Now I'm saying it's a pretty popular Scotch whiskey in Louisiana. Really, the most popular whiskey in Louisiana by far is Crown Royal. People always say, I'm going to get some Crown. You know, I was drinking Crown and so forth. They love saying that. And then Hennessy is probably the second most popular liquor. Well, you know, one of the big ones around here. I'm talking about in southeastern Louisiana. Hennessy. That's a brandy, cognac brandy. Crown Royal, naturally Jack Daniels, and vodka too, because that's like huge. Okay, and gin. I see a lot of people buying Seagrams and everything. But I'd have to find out, is there even a record on that? Like, what are the top selling liquors in Louisiana? You know, the top 10. I don't know if anybody's compiled such data. So White Horse. From 1890. Now owned by Diageo. Looked like the label hadn't changed in 50 years. I was looking at an old advertisement from 1979. Same label. Exactly the same. Now, older ones, 45, 50, 60, 70 years ago, they were different labels. They changed it. But now they'll claim, Dewar's claim, we haven't changed our recipe since 1899. Oh, something changed because it used to be 86 proof. And now it's they're showing 80 proof. Now I don't know if White Horse was ever a higher proof, but most of these liquors are higher proof now, lower proof now. Jack Daniels used to be 90 for the longest time. And then in the late 80s, they changed it to 86 proof. And then in 2003, they dropped it, or was it 2006? Yeah, maybe 06. They dropped it to 80. Didn't affect the sales. In fact, it seems they have helped the sales with these products dropping it to 80 proof. Turns out, people preferred the 80 proof over those high proof, 90 proof. You say, nah, a real whiskey drinker wants barrel proof, All right. So I guess most of the whiskey drinkers in America just aren't real whiskey drinkers. They're lightweights, amateurs, whatever the case. The same attitude. It's like beer. People would say they don't really know beer because they drink Bud Light. Remember back when people used to drink Bud Light or Miller Lite? They don't know good beer. Well, they just have a different approach to it. It's something to drink while they're watching television. It's not a hobby. You know what I'm saying? To them, a consumer beverage is not a hobby. It's like people drink Hawaiian punch. They're not sitting there saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to do a study on all the best Hawaiian punches, and I'm going to read the history of it, and I'm going to do online groups and all of that. There's nothing wrong with doing it, but it's not what most people. I was reading a very interesting article about Platform Brewery that had started in 2014 and was dissolved in 2023, February this year. It just collapsed. And it was such a good article. Like the two articles I read were so good. It was like, I was thinking to myself, well, I remember in 2014, because I was already well into doing the beer reviews. I started in 2009 with written reviews, and then I added video reviews in 2010. And it was like that whole story encapsulates the mentality of the craft beer world. It's just a kind of a different world. And it was I never tried Platform beer to my knowledge. Maybe somebody sent me one time. Call trying. I know I didn't know. But that whole article, both of those articles making me think like, yep, I just know that whole mindset. You say it's the same with whiskey. They be running to the store to get the newest thing, and they got to line up. You say that same thing has been, I would say, infected the whiskey world. Like they can never drink just like a standby or what we call a flagship. It's like, oh no, my tastes have changed. But it's not really that their taste changed. I don't think it's that they got involved in this cyclical thing. But anyway, we're not gonna preach on that. But it's interesting to think about it and study it. Okay, yeah, they're both golden. So the appearance is minimal as far as differences. Okay, let's go with the aroma. Oh, price. I know the Dewar's is cheaper. It's got to be the case that they gave me. Okay, let's see. Check the old Total Wine and More website. Could check Walmart too, but it's a little bit more irritating website to use. Let's see. Called Dewar's. It's owned by Bacardi today, yeah, which is a family-owned company. But the Dewar family don't own. The Dewar's family does not own Dewar's. The Bacardi family owns it. You say those sellouts. I know. $32.49. Oh, okay. Never mind. $1 cheaper. $1.50 cheaper. I'm sorry. $1.50 cheaper. Well, that's so minimal. That's like basically non-issue because these stores, their prices will flip around store to store, and if it's $1.50 difference, you can say it's no difference because it's not going to be consistent store to store. Okay. Now these Dewars, they got a lot of expensive ones now. Relatively so on their website. They got the 12-year, that's $25.99 for a regular bottle. The regular Dewars, this one here is $18.49 for a regular bottle. So you save money buying the handle, really. You're going to save money per ounce. It's really not cost effective to buy a fifth, as they used to call them. Dewar's 15-year age, $40.99. Well, I think you have to buy that size. They don't make the handles. Dewar's double 21-year, $57.99. Oh, that's just for a little small bottle. It's $94.99 for the regular bottle. Oh yeah, now we're getting up into the high hat. 19-year, the Champions Edition, $81.99. French Smooth Blended. That must be one of those French oak thing. One of those specialty barrel ones. I had the Mezcal, which was awesome. 18-year age, $66.99. Double 32-year, $200.99 for a half-size bottle. Oh no. And $48.99 for the 12-year. Price hadn't gone up at all, even with the JB inflation. Isn't that something? The price never went up. It was that price 4 years ago, $48.99. Dewar's Signature. It comes in a box. $174.99. So you could lay down some cash for Dewar's now. But we're not talking about the regular. We're talking about the specialties. Okay. Or as they say in the British Commonwealth countries, specialities. I don't think in Canada they say that, though. They say specialties. Well, you know what? I've never talked to a Canadian about specialties. I've never heard them talk about maybe they do say specialities, eh? I don't know. What do I know for specialties? And even if I did, it wouldn't even matter because the other thing. So, but I know in merry old England Empire, they say specialities and aluminium. No, I mean, this smells like. Now somebody put on Facebook, name 2 types of liquors that people claim that are good, but they really don't like the taste. And a guy, Bobby, that I used to work with, he retired because his legs were hurting him so much. He put Scotch and tequila. I wanted to respond, but I say no. I wanted to say, hey, ho, whoa. Scotch tastes good, and so does tequila. But he only drinks Old Granddad bourbon. The best. Old Granddad 101. All right. He said when he would have a party, he used to be a store manager, and every year he'd have a Christmas party for his employees, and he would let them drink Old Crow. But for his personal use in his family, they drank Old Granddad 101. He said they weren't going to raid my cabinet, drink all my stuff. I let them drink Old Crow. Let them eat cake. All right. And they both smell pretty standard. Like you say, yeah, go ahead and say it. Run-of-the-mill Scotch. Okay, yeah, that's what they are, actually. In fact, they're not specialty items. They're not limited edition or reserve products, or if you want to be more accurate, in some cases, gimmick products. They're just standard. All right. So aroma, you drive yourself mad trying to tell the difference with aroma. So really, in appearance, there isn't any appreciable difference. In price, there isn't any appreciable difference. In aroma, there isn't any appreciable difference. You say, well, it's a tie down the line. So far, tie. And the answer is correct, correct, correct. But now the most important part, the taste challenge. Sugar water, honey top white bread crust, a little bit of a compost pile, a little bit of smoke. Like when I say a little bit, I mean like 2 out of 100, 98 out of 100 not smoke. So I gotta have my smoky scotch. I gotta have my smoke. I gotta have my peat. Well, don't get these two. Don't get either one of these because you're gonna be terribly disappointed with White Horse and Dewar's White Label. But if you like sugar water and honey, top white bread crust and bread crust, bread dough, bread crust, bread dough, these would be one for yen. What about oak barrel? Oh yeah, a little bit of that, I suppose. Maxwell, good morning, Ron. Good morning to you, Maxwell, in the Russian Federation. Well, now, this is just like basic old stuff. You ever notice how all these regular whiskeys just taste like regular old stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like people will go on and on about, oh, this is better, that's worse, this and that, all the other stuff, up, down, sideways, front to back, diagonal to diagonal. And then, but you say, yeah, but they kind of all like the same. It's like with beer. People will go around and around on a merry-go-round and on a Ferris wheel and on a if they're playing a light bright or what's that other game that they play with the colored dots on the vinyl game piece that you stand on? If they're playing that, but then it's all the same. And in essentially the same, not specifically the same, but generally the same. You know what I mean? Like you could say, oh, Canadian, Molson Canadian, Labatt Blue, oh, Moosehead, oh, Miller High Life, oh, Pabst Blue Ribbon, oh, Budweiser, oh, Schlitz, and so forth. And they all, oh, I'm just going to discuss this to the end. They're so different one to another. No, they're not. They're all the same in a general sense. And same thing with light beer, which is a warning to anybody who produces light beer. Let's say you produce a lot of light beer and you're like a big light beer company. It might be a good idea not to offend your fan base because they could easily switch over to something else that's not going to be any different. It's not in any, appreciable way. We were talking about that on the phone yesterday. And my friend was like, day before yesterday, he was saying, yeah, I mean, it's so easy to jump to another brand. It's like, how hard is that? It's like mustard, Oh, I eat yellow mustard. It's highly processed. I gotta have my brand. Oh, no, you don't. You don't have to have French's. You could jump to any other and then there's not gonna be much different. So it's like that with these Scotch. You could say, well, I love Dewar's, or I love White Horse. I love Johnny Walker and all what else. And then you say, but they offended me. Dewar's offended me. They donated money to the German National Socialist Revitalization Movement. They want to bring back swastikas and all of this. I can't deal with that. I don't want my money going to that. That's terrible. Which we would all agree, Or they're giving money to the Russian Soviet Revitalization Movement. They want to bring back the hammer and sickle and totalitarianism and all of this. I can't give my money to that. I'm never drinking it again. I'll show them. Okay, fine. Well, then you switch over to the other Scotch and it's like, well, this ain't even really that different. And plus it costs $2 more. Why was I buying that anyway. So it's like brand loyalty is good, but then it could be destroyed. Ask Schlitz Company, who went out of business 40, 41 years ago, how that works. Jason Cleveland says, good morning, Jay. Good morning to you, Jason. So bringing us back to the main focus here. And I think all the ancillary stuff does, it is germane to the topic. But which of these do I prefer? Both. Which of these would I rather not buy? Neither. Which of these would I recommend? Oh, both of them, I suppose. What if it was $1 difference? I'd buy the one that was $1 cheaper. You say, what if it was 50 cents difference? I'll buy the one that was 50 cents cheaper. What if it was a penny cheaper? I'll buy the one that was a penny cheaper, assuming I had both products. Now, you know me, if I haven't had it before, I'm going to buy it so I can try it. Like Famous Grouse. People ask me every week, when are you going to do Famous Grouse? And I say, I'm getting to it. And I'm not trying to just like humor them. I'm actually serious. I do intend to get Famous Grouse. That is not a just an empty statement. I don't do empty statements, and I don't humor people. I like to be honest with the viewers and honest with people in real life and on a personal level. Unfortunately, I deal with people at work and in regular life that aren't, and it's really frustrating and it's aggravating. It's the way people are, you know. But I can sniff them out, you know. Like I'm like Amy Winehouse, you know. I snuff them out like Tanqueray. If they're trying to buffalo me, I might not say anything, but I'll just be like, man, what a lie. And you think I don't see that, but maybe that's that kind of persona that I promote, you know, that howdy, like Southern man, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? If you've seen it, you recognize it, and let's hope you're not actually believing it. But I guess some people do believe it, and they're like, I could just lie to that dumb. He plays around, and he's a kidder, and he thinks his jokes are funny. I don't think they're funny. That's the whole point of it. You get it? It's like, I tell people sometimes, see you later, crocodile, after a while, alligator. And they're like, but that's okay, but you'd said it wrong. And I'm like, really? Well, I need to make like a tree and get out of here. So it's probably that part of that whole thing that, if you want to call it an act, you say it's a deception. It is a deception in a way, but it's not a lie because you should know it. It's like hidden in plain sight. It should be apparent. Like I told somebody at work one time, I said, you don't see that's an act? He I said, you've been knowing me since 1971. And he was sort of like, oh, okay, yeah. I guess if I wanted to have something that tastes like white bread crust and sugar water and honey top white bread crust, and a scintilla of smoke and a minuscule infant, that word, you know, that word that the people say, infinitesimal, how you say that, amount of peat, I would pick that. I'm erudite and all of those other things. All right, now over here. Honey top white bread crust and bread dough without that. All right, so this got to be the Dewars. The Dewar. Oh. It's all over. Mother. I said, Dwyer. Okay, well, you know how you feel right now? I feel worse than that. because I got it wrong. People, and they lie, people lie, my people lie, friend. If you just leave us be, we will let you go. Well, not really, but we'll pretend to. Now, but I don't know why I'm so shocked, because I built the whole thing up to this, like saying, well, they look the same. Well, they do actually smell the same. The price is the same, so they ought to taste the same. But how do you think it feels when you've been up for 5 straight days? Listen, babe. Okay, so, well, that was a catastrophe. But we move on. We work. We. What do you say? Move on. Move ahead. Keep moving. Like the little cigars. The cigars, goodies. Keep moving. So we're gonna keep rolling. Like the Grateful Dead said, keep the mother rolling. And that's what we're gonna keep doing. So I got the 12-year coming up, like a flower. Okay, so the Dewar's 12-year. You would think, you would hope, you would pray, you would be inclined to believe that the 12-year age would easily and most decisively defeat the white horse. I'm thinking that's going to happen, because we're talking about $48.99 versus $38.99, and if you get it a total wine and more, it's only $33.99. But I have to go with what I paid. So I'm thinking that it's going to be a wipeout. But I don't know that. This is why we do the taste challenge. Do not feed the dog from the food on the table. Okay, so we're going to do the taste challenge regardless. Or as some people say, we're going to do the taste challenge irregardless. All right, so oh, I got to call the Office of Redundancy office later on. I'll give you everything I've got for a little piece of mind. So we're going on and on and on till the break of dawn, Saturday morning, or maybe Friday, because tomorrow is Friday, with the 12-year age Dewars, which should be a decisive thing. And then we're going to close out. I think all my J&B is gone, my Justerini and Brooks. I do believe that I drank it all. I mean, I did taste challenges. I wouldn't drink alcohol at 5:30 in the morning. I have enough self-control. But I tasted it all, and I believe it's gone, but I'm going to double check. So then we should be closing out with Cuddy Sark Prohibition Edition, 100 proof. Uh-oh. What will happen on that hangout? And then it's on to brandy, which is grape whiskey. You say grape whiskey. Brandy is not grape whiskey, fool. Whiskey is grain brandy. Right. Whiskey is grain brandy, and brandy is grape whiskey. It's true. Okay. Well, so I'm about burnt out on whiskey because I've been doing so many. It's just overwhelming. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. So then we on to brandy. Jeff Lyons at New England Beer Review said, I never have a taste for brandy. I don't like brandy. I said, well, it's not for everybody. So then when we finish with that in July, sometime at the end of middle of July, middle of July, then we'll be on to rum. Oh, I got an interesting rum. I already did the silver version. Oh, wait, I have it backwards. I did the gold. Yeah, I did the gold, and I got the silver coming along. So that's going to be very interesting. And I got it for such a cheap price. You're going to be jealous. Look, if I hadn't bought it, I'd be jealous. You understand? But I can't be jealous because I'm the one that got it for the cheapest price in the world. So anyway, I'm not bragging, I'm just making a monetary purchase observation situation. All right, bye-bye, everybody. Y'all take care now.